Hi everyone, my name is Josh Godfrey, and for my student-led activity I chose to do Play-Doh fossils. The targeted grade level for this is a 4th grade level. The next generation science standard that goes with this is 4-ESS1-1. Identify evidence from patterns in rocks, formations, and fossils in rock layers to support an explanation for changes in landscape over time. The materials you're going to need for this is obviously some sort of Play-Doh. Most schools have this in their resource room, but if your school doesn't have it, no big deal. I found 12 of these little tubs, which work perfect for single students or partners if you're going to do it that way, on Amazon for $5. The second thing that I found was I found these little dinosaur skeletons. I figured this would work great for extinction and fossils and everything like that. These also come in a package of 12 for $5 on Amazon. I included the link in my handout if you guys want to see where I got them. The third and final thing is plaster of Paris. I've already mixed up some. You can see it in the cup there. I just didn't want to sit here and mix it up in front of you guys. So the safety stuff that goes with this is obviously everybody loves to play with Play-Doh, and we all know that picking Play-Doh out of carpet is no fun, especially after teaching it all day long. So students need to be told that the Play-Doh needs to stay on their desk. It doesn't belong on other people's clothes. It doesn't belong on the floor. It doesn't belong in their mouth. The next safety precaution is the dinosaurs themselves. Yes, they look like cool little toy figurines, but they're not to get thrown around. They're not to get stepped on, anything like that. You want to use them later on, probably for your next year's class or whatever like that. So make sure that they understand that they're not a toy and that they are for science. The third and final thing, I believe, is up to the teacher and whether you really trust your students with the plaster itself. For my recommendation is that the teacher handles the plaster all to themselves. The students can make the imprint in the Play-Doh, fine, and then once they're done making the imprint, the teacher comes around or has the student put their imprint on the back counter so that the teacher can pour in the plaster and everything like that. So for my teaching techniques, the first one is modeling, obviously. For the Play-Doh and the dinosaurs, the Play-Doh needs to be a certain thickness. So a teacher needs to model what thickness they want for the dinosaurs so they don't go through. And then if they do go through, you're going to have a big old mess of plaster everywhere on the counter or on their desk or somewhere. So what I would like to say is a rough rule is like a quarter inch to half an inch thickness of Play-Doh. And even if they get this wrong, no big deal. Just make sure before you pour the plaster that there's no holes in the Play-Doh for the plaster to go through. So once they have that understood and they have that all marked down, they can lay their Play-Doh down on their desk. And then the other thing that I noticed, especially when using these dinosaurs, they're kind of a weird, round, long shape. So the teacher needs to understand that or tell the students that they kind of need to roll their dinosaurs into the Play-Doh. So while they're doing this and working on rolling and making sure they're getting a good imprint in the Play-Doh, the teacher can bring up a discussion which can lead into the extinction. Since we are using dinosaurs, so we can talk about the extinction. Another activity that can be integrated into this is you can put on a video in the background with a video showing of fossil excavation. Once the video is over and they have their fossils all done, they can write a summary in their science journal about the excavation process and everything that goes into that. So once that all gets integrated and the discussion's happening, you can have the students either put their Play-Doh on the back counter or leave it on their desk, whatever works for you. But all you have to do is pour the plaster into the Play-Doh. So if you're doing this activity in the morning, sometimes the plaster will dry by the afternoon and you can peel it out, but I highly recommend just leaving it overnight so that way you can just peel the plaster out and you don't have any messed up fossils or anything like that. And then they can extend this activity to the real life world by, at least in Northern Nevada, we have one museum at UNR that is directly related to fossils and shows all kinds of fossils that have been dug up around Northern Nevada. The second place they can do this is by going to the Nevada State Museum, which also just really is based around mining, but they've found quite a few fossils within the mines that they have preserved and there are in the museum. I think that's it.